making sure they get my good side.
Why are you attacking the the mic with your breath?
I was taking a deep breath
I'm sorry,
before it
I'm
gets
sorry.
started. Hello, welcome to Showbiz, a musical theater podcast where you can wear pink and be smart at the same time. It's this crazy thing.
No way.
I'm your host, Luna Rose, pronouns they, she, he. Joining me today is my sister.
Hi, my name's Vivienne. Pronouns she, her.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Vivo. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know what to say about myself except for that I did theater in middle school and high school, and I mean, I still listen to the musicals and such on my free time. Trying to qualify myself to be here.
Well, I'm very excited to have you on for today's episode.
Excited to be here.
We're going to be talking about Legally Blonde,
the musical.
I'm very excited to talk about this musical with you in particular because we've both done this show before.
Yes.
Not the same one, unfortunately.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would be cool to do it together someday. Should we talk about what roles we played?
Yeah.
So I played Paulette in my production.
She slayed.
I tried. And then who did you play?
I was Brooke Wyndham.
Yes.
Also slayed.
You did send me a list of different musicals you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
I chose out of that list. Why was Legally Blonde one of the ones you wanted to talk about?
Well, it obviously occurred to me because we've both been in it. So, you know, there's that aspect of it. But also there's just lots to dissect about it. Lots of issues that it kind of goes into and such. And lots of fun numbers and everything. So, yeah, I just thought it would be, has lots of content to go through, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like super camp and also just has a nice message.
Yeah, like really heartfelt as well.
So, I'm sure I don't need to go too much into what Legally Blonde is because I'm sure plenty of people know. But it is a musical based on the 2001 film of the same name starring Reese Witherspoon. Some people may not know this, but it's also based on a book, also, I believe, written in like 2001 or maybe 2000 by Amanda Brown, which she based on her own experiences attending Stanford Law School.
Right. Which, I mean, it's kind of interesting that it got switched from Stanford to Harvard. Like, I don't know, was that just because Harvard's like the bigger name, or was it,
I mean,
maybe a Stanford conspiracy? I'm just kidding.
I mean, they're both Ivy League schools, so I'm pretty sure they're like on equal footing.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if Amanda got in any trouble for writing this book, and so they had to change it to Harvard for the movie.
I'd be curious. Or maybe it was like more of a copyright issue since it's not blatantly stated to be based on her book. Maybe they had to change some details or whatever.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. So, yeah, needless to say, Legally Blonde, the movie and the musical, have taken the world by storm. The story has resonated with so many people over the over 20 years it's been out. My thesis basically for this musical is that Legally Blonde in a way was like ground zero for bimbo feminism. So for anyone who doesn't know, bimbo feminism is a movement that really has gained traction in this first half of the 2020s, especially on TikTok. And the idea is to reclaim the term bimbo, which is a historically derogatory term for women who are conventionally attractive but not traditionally smart, and redefine it as something else entirely. Bimbo feminism says, actually, rejecting and demeaning hyperfemininity is not feminist at all. It's misogynistic. And it's also misogynistic for women to have to constantly prove their intelligence and outperform men just to be treated like human beings. Men don't have to do that. A man can be ugly, hot, smart, not smart. Doesn't matter. They're still respected and revered all the same. Bimbo feminism is saying women deserve to be treated with dignity, no matter their appearance or level of intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
I will say, just to get it out of the way, because I know some people might bring it up, there have been some critiques of bimbo feminism or bimboism, as some people call it. Some of them are valid. For example, it's not been very inclusive to non-white, non-skinny women.
Right.
And, and we'll see in the show too, Elle Woods, bimbo in question, is also very privileged.
Right.
So I think that's totally a valid critique. There's also like been some critiques about, I think, the way some influencers approach bimboism, how it can come across as just reinforcing gender stereotypes of like women not being smart or just women not being knowledgeable about certain topics or watering down like complex topics or issues going on in the world, quote, for the girls, implying that women couldn't possibly understand those issues.
Right. I think there's a fine line with those kinds of videos or influencers, because I think there is a way to do a video in that format that isn't demeaning in any way, or like not suggesting that people wouldn't understand it, but more just there for the people who don't, you know? Like there is a way to go about it, but there's certainly a lot of them that are not worded the best and such.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So there are definitely valid critiques of this movement. I also just honestly think a lot of the critiques are just more misogyny and not understanding what bimboism is supposed to be.
Right.
And I think that as long as we're approaching it the right way, bimbo feminism is actually quite powerful and a really great way to redefine femininity. And I just think Legally Blonde is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Are
Well
you
said.
ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with the opening number. Oh my God, you guys.
Oh my God.
I would say the the big theme of this number is sisterhood,
Totally.
hands down.
Honestly, this musical made me feel a lot differently about sororities.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There are some issues amongst Greek life in
Sure.
general. They're pretty elitist. A
Yeah,
lot.
I mean,
Most of them are like very white and very rich.
I think when I say that, it changed the way I feel about sororities. I used to have more of like a hater mentality about sororities, like in a way that actually was,
Kind of pick me ish.
yeah, maybe a little bit, like where it was just kind of like, oh, like why would you want to be in a sorority? Like that was kind of where it's coming from. And then I was like, oh no, actually, I could see why somebody would want to do that. I still think it's kind of crazy, like now knowing more the details of how it works and such, like via the internet and whatever, like TikTok videos and stuff of people in sororities. It's a lot, and it's a lot of drama, and my goodness. But I could see why somebody would want to do that. And there are benefits, of course.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's like something very beautiful just about the way all of these women are rallying behind Elle Woods because she might get proposed to today.
Right.
By the
You
way,
can just tell they all love and respect her so much too as their president. Like
yeah,
every single one of
absolutely.
them clearly has a connection with her to some degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that stuck out to me that I thought was like pretty interesting was, they're all signed in the car, they're all going up to her room and they're singing this whole bit about basically like reinforcing traditional gender roles in marriage and
with the candles, like that bit, right?
yeah,
candles
they're saying things like, oh, tend to his every need, try not to look your age,
right.
You want to look young and hot forever, and just yeah, all of that bullshit. And then they end it with, but nothing can supersede our sacred bond of sisterhood.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. It's kind of, correct me if I'm misremembering, but I feel like in that song too, like when they're singing the part with the candles, like we were just talking about, they're like that one of the girls is like shushing everybody for that part. Like they're singing it quieter because the whole song they're like screaming because they're like excited. They're like,
Yes.
oh my god, that's the vibes, but singing. And but then at that point they're like shushing, someone's shushing them like in between, and they're trying to be quiet. And then they get to the like bonds of sisterhood part, and they get loud again, and they go back to being like how they were being at the beginning of the song. I just think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it a little bit, but it's just so interesting how much they love Elle and how much they support her. They're like, yes, you and Warner are meant to be. You guys are the perfect couple. Of course he's gonna propose to you.
Yeah,
Like, he is such a great guy.
totally.
So we meet Elle, and I love that immediately, right off the bat, we just see that she's smart just from the moment we meet her. Because there's that saleswoman who's like, trying to take advantage of her, trying to like upsell an old dress.
Yeah.
Because she thinks Elle's not going to know the difference because she's a dumb blonde. And I just love that they immediately establish that that's not the case.
Right. And I like that it's in her actual expertise too. Like her, obviously she has the fashion degree, so they like open with her clearly being very good in that wheelhouse and like knowing what she's talking about and just establishing like, that she's like you said, just really intelligent.
Yeah. She is our autistic bimbo queen with a special interest in fashion.
Slay.
Yeah, it's what was I going to say? Oh yeah. And just the way all of the girls like immediately find her at the mall. And they're like, there she is, and they're immediately stepping in to help her pick out the perfect dress for her date. I don't know, it's just beautiful. I don't know what else to say about it. I love it.
Girlhood. We love.
I guess my last thought about this number is just the other saleswoman who's like, oh, Courtney, take your break. Ignore her. She hasn't been well.
I know, she's a queen. She's just like, what are you doing to my favorite client?
Yeah.
Hello?
But also, did you see that one? There was like one production of Legally Blonde where that woman like sang it completely monotone.
Yeah.
And like everyone slammed her for it.
Yeah, no, but she's a queen. Like, that's exactly how every sales rep, like, in a department store type place, like, they don't want to be there. That's exactly how they act.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work in like a Macy's or whatever. Like, not that Elle was shopping in a Macy's. She probably would never. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, on top of that, her coworkers trying to scam their best client. She's just like, ugh.
Yeah. She's like,
so over it.
What the heck is going on? Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah. Which, as much, it's so funny because there's only two thoughts during that song, which is, oh my god, this guy sucks. And number two is,
this man really loves to hear himself talk.
Right. And then number two is like, just thinking it's really funny. Because it's not even the song itself. Like, the song is just him being a douche. But then you put it on the stage and you just see Elle sitting there, like, not listening to a word he's saying. And like, some of the little bits and things they do throughout the song are just so good. It's really funny.
But she's like so polite about the fact that she's kind of sick of hearing him talk so much. Because there's one point where she like is starting to sing and he's like, honey, I'm not finished. And she's like, oh, sorry. Which, yeah, how many women and femme people have had that exact situation,
right,
with a man or mask presenting person? Like, I think all of us have been there where we're like, man, this guy is just going on and on. When is he gonna stop talking? And then you like find a minute to maybe get a word in, and then he just interrupts you again.
Yep.
Warner is like the perfect representative of that type of man.
Yeah.
He's just going on and on and on.
That's the type of guy where if he's talking and he's not really like facing your direction, you could just like walk away and he probably wouldn't notice for like 30 minutes.
Easily.
Yeah.
Also, the costuming for Warner is amazing because he just comes off from the minute he walks on stage like that cheesy, sleazy 80s Wall Street
He's a
man.
Barney Stinson.
He is a Barney Stinson. Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
With the sunglasses too, and his little sound effects and the score and everything.
Yeah, the sound effects and the score make it all so much better.
That's like really where the 80s tastic comes in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Even though it's not 80s, it's the early 2000s,
No,
but it's the same vibe.
I think they're intentionally emulating that, you know, archetype of character.
Yeah. So, obviously, if you've seen the show before, you know this is where Warner is breaking up with Elle, and his reasoning is basically pressure from his family. And he goes, I need someone serious.
No, his reason is that he doesn't take her seriously. Like, that's what he's inadvertently saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, not even inadvertently. It's pretty direct.
The song is called Serious.
He's quite literally telling her to her face, I'm breaking up with you because I don't take you seriously. And I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah.
Like, that's really...
He's like, I don't take you seriously. My family doesn't take you seriously.
Even if you're gonna
I need someone serious if I'm going to be a senator.
Right. And even if you're going to break up with somebody like that, like, or not like that, but if you're breaking up with somebody for that reasoning, that's dumb. But also, to do it in that manner is just so hurtful and rude for no reason. You know, it's been like, oh, our lives are on different paths. You know what I mean? And like what a douche.
That's why I get so heated anytime men are like, oh, so we can't have preferences. And it's like, that's not even what we're arguing. Like, you're just being so mean about it.
Yeah. No, for real.
You don't
have to be like, just because you have a preference doesn't mean anybody else needs to know about it, first of all. Second of all, if people are discussing preferences and it's a relevant thing to discuss, there's no need to like put down, like, you're talking about a preference, so hype up the thing that you prefer. Don't put down the things you don't prefer. You know what I mean? Positivity, people.
Yeah. So like that's where the issue lies. And then he goes on to say, I need someone who's less of a Marilyn, more of a Jackie,
right.
An obvious reference to Marilyn Monroe and Jackie Kennedy, which, by the way, the whole like putting women in boxes by comparing them to either Jackie Kennedy or Marilyn Monroe completely falls apart the minute you learn anything about either of those women.
Right.
Like, Marilyn Monroe, yes, was like the OG, like modern day bimbo, but she was like a civil rights activist.
Yeah.
Like, she had like really good things to say about various topics. She tried to push for like
what bimbo feminism should be, and like kind of what you were getting into at the beginning when explaining what it is and the critiques and such, is like using your position as maybe a privileged bimbo to also be an activist.
Yes.
While also bringing attention to your own struggles and others via that privilege. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Marilyn Monroe is a great example of that.
Yeah, she was a very smart woman who accomplished a lot. You know, she was like very vocally anti-racist. She was like, she pushed for like better working conditions in the entertainment industry for women. Like, she was such an amazing woman.
Totally.
And it's so sad what this world did to her and just reduced her down to like an object and a sex symbol.
When it's like the main image that most people would think of when you talk about Marilyn Monroe is the classic, like, with her skirt up in the wind and she's trying to hold it down. That is I don't know if it's an image or if it was like a painting or something.
Yeah, it was a
photo.
It was from a movie that she did.
Right. Okay, so it's
like, and it was like an infamous scene, and it's been replicated multiple times ever since.
Right, and it's iconic, but it's also always given me the heebie-jeebies. It's puts a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, the way she was treated during her life and even long after she's passed away is just so gross and gives me the heebie-jeebies. And then for Jackie Kennedy's part, yeah, she was the first lady, but she popularized the whole like, oh, every first lady has like their own thing, and like her thing was fashion.
Right.
Like, she also enjoyed feminine things like makeup and fashion. She literally like popularized so many like trends in the 60s.
Yeah.
Like the hair for instance, like the poof, and you know, the, I don't know what they're called, but the hats,
Right.
and the kitten heels. Yeah, those became popular because she wore them, and she was like super into fashion. But I guess her brand of femininity was fine because it was, I don't know, classy. I don't know.
I think maybe a lot of people also are just able to excuse me, are able to just like ignore that that was even her interest, or don't even necessarily know any of that. So a lot of the like image of like Marilyn Monroe versus Jackie Kennedy is entirely based on the way that they look and not about anything else. Like, I don't think, I think unfortunately a lot of people don't actually pay attention or care to learn about women in history.
Mm-mm. Also,
Unfortunately.
fuck Warner for calling Elle Woods tacky.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Excuse you? What? What?
Also, what does tacky even mean?
You know,
It's one of those words where it's like,
I can't tell you.
yeah, like you kind of understand like contextually what it is like supposed to mean, but I couldn't actually define tacky for you.
All right, I think we're ready to talk about the next number called What You Want. Here is
What
where
what you want,
what you want is right in front of you. We both did the jip. We remembered that.
Yeah.
That was good. But yeah, here's where again, sisterhood sticks out a lot about this number. Also, here's what I mean about how supportive all the girls are to Elle. Because earlier they were like, Warner's the perfect guy for you and you're so cute together and blah, blah, blah. Once he breaks up with her, they're like, he's a piece of shit. I hate him. I never liked him anyway.
Yeah. Which is exactly what you're supposed to say. They're killing it.
I think it's also important to just quickly get out of the way because it's going to come up sooner or later. There's actually a lot of fat phobia in this show, as some first referenced right before this number. We're like, oh, she's eating Milky Ways.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The horror.
Milky Ways are delicious.
She's eating candy.
They're also this big. Like, relax. My God.
I'm more of a Twix gal myself.
Twix are also a solid choice. Kit Kat, excellent choice. I am not a candy bar discriminator.
Yeah. So
Nor am I a fat people discriminator.
Exactly. There are just you know, comments like that where I'm like, oh, yikes.
Yeah, the 2000s shows. It shows. There are times.
The fat phobia is rampant. So yeah, basically Elle is like, wait a minute, Warner needs someone serious. I could be serious. I want to go to Harvard Law School.
Right. Because, you know, anyone could do that.
Yeah.
I did that last Friday.
Yeah. I did it like yesterday.
Oh my God. Very recent.
It's
hard.
I have to say this. I really don't get the whole like having to bring up the fact that she has a degree in fashion and that somehow like means she shouldn't go to law school. Like,
right.
That is so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think like any degree can translate to being a lawyer because any industry needs a lawyer. You know what I mean? Or any human being might need a lawyer.
Yeah. Fashion, especially in this day and age, really requires lawyers because there's just been so many. Like, if you have a fashion degree and you go into law school, you will very likely get clients who like are dealing with places like Shein stealing their designs. Mm-hmm. You're probably going to get clients who, you know, maybe an influencer made like a really shitty makeup brand, Jaclyn Hill. It's like there's been a lot of talk about all these scandals and like illegal shit happening in the fashion industry. Like there's also
just the beauty industry generally.
Just the beauty industry in general. They touch on this in the Legally Blonde sequel where like Elle has a client where like she's basically trying to ban animal testing. for makeup products.
Right.
And like that's a whole thing. So all that stuff requires attorneys.
Yeah.
And having a fashion degree would be like a huge help for those cases.
Yeah, just having an understanding more of the product in question for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird to me how Elle rightfully points out she has a 4.0 at UCLA.
Yeah.
And it's not mentioned in the movie or the musical, but the LSATs.
Yeah.
The highest score you can get on the LSATs is a 180.
Mm-hmm.
This is a change that I don't like very much. In the movie, Elle Woods gets a 179.
Yeah.
So like almost a perfect score.
Yeah.
In the musical, they make a point of how like you need a score of at least 174 to be eligible for Harvard Law. And you know, she's like studying and like missing out on all, you know, these college events at the end of her senior year. And she keeps like not quite getting to the minimum score. And then finally she actually takes the LSATs and she gets a score of 175,
Right.
which is like one more point than she would need.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that change. I just think just the fact that that's such a different, like lesser result as opposed to just studying for the LSATs kind of last minute ish and getting basically a perfect score because that's how smart she is.
Yeah. I think, and I think I said this last time maybe, but I think maybe it was partly because they needed more for the song, like more time, so that's why they incorporated her like struggling to get the score she wanted. You know what I mean? Most likely is just because they wanted more of that like in the song and to stretch it out more. And then I don't know, like I maybe a part of it was to show how much work she was putting into it. Apart from just being naturally smart, she's also willing to like actually do the work. You know what I mean? So maybe that's where they're coming from. But yeah, I agree. It's not my favorite change.
Yeah. There's also like that random guy in the song who's like just
Yeah, it's kind of a they're doing like a he's wearing like a Rastafari hat.
yeah, it's like a just a walking Jamaican stereotype.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like,
even the like part of the music changes and it's
it's we could have done
not,
without that.
It's not necessary at all. That's what's so upsetting about it. It's like in and of itself, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's like who cares what I think, right? But I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing that's ever been done. But it's very much a stereotype, and also it's just like not necessary in the song at all. It actually adds nothing at all.
No, it really doesn't.
It really doesn't add anything.
What do you think about Elle not writing a personal essay and instead flying out to where's Harvard? Connecticut? Flying out to Connecticut to present a personal essay, and it's just like a huge dance number.
Is it really?
I think so.
I feel like you're probably right, but I don't know why.
Or
feel right.
wait, no, Massachusetts.
I don't know. It's one of those northern states, not New York.
Yeah,
a different one.
Yeah, one of the New England ones.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, what do you think about that? Because we know in real life that would not work.
No, it would not. It's pretty ridiculous. It's funny too that they made it that because like in the movie it was just a video, which still ridiculous wouldn't work. But in the video it was like she's like in a bikini and like that's why it works. Is that it's like they're clearly like attracted to her and that's why they admit her, which is kind of yucky.
Yeah, it is yucky.
So I do appreciate the change that they didn't want to keep that like aspect of the video version of it. But yeah, it's like so ridiculous. It's so fun though, and she brings like a whole marching band. It's like insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's dancing her life away. What's the phrase? I don't know.
She's dancing her life out.
Dancing her life out, and yeah, I don't know. It's better than the movie, I think, but it's also just there. It partly takes you out of it a little bit. It's kind of like what What are we doing here?
What is going on here?
Yeah, what is she
Why
doing?
couldn't she just write a personal essay?
Right, like
You can
you are definitely writing essays if you have a 4.0 in fashion.
yeah,
I think they're
absolutely
definitely writing stuff. Maybe not essays per se, but they're definitely writing in a fashion class. So what's
yeah,
up?
come on.
Anyways,
It's but I think it also really speaks to the level of privilege that she has.
right.
Um
She really just fully believes like no. If I just talk to this guy to his face, he'll just give me what I want, and
If-
she's right, and it works.
yeah. If I just talk about
What you want? Sorry.
yeah, if I just talk about love, I'm doing this for love. Wouldn't you do this for love too?
I don't even think that was her plan too. It's funny that was like
Last ditch effort.
right, like that was supposed to be her getting vulnerable, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little vulnerable.
And it is, but it's also I don't know. It's still just ridiculous. Like he's just like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's for love." Yeah, absolutely. Come to Harvard. Like
Yeah.
what?
And it's like reluctant to. He's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is an exaggerated version of the level of privilege that she has to be able to pull that off.
Totally.
Because not only is she like, you know, she's white, she's skinny, she's blonde, she's super rich.
Well, clearly she flew an entire marching band out.
Yeah, just to do this dance number.
Yeah.
You know, she's also got all of these high status connections. It's kind of, you kind of get the sense that her parents maybe work in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they just randomly know all these celebrities.
Well, her dad makes a comment about like you could have a great film career or whatever. That does kind of suggest they have connections.
In another timeline, she's just a nepo baby.
Yeah, totally.
The next number is the Harvard Variations.
Who cares about this song? I'm
Okay.
just kidding. No, it's good.
My
It's fine.
my production of Legally Blonde skipped this number straight up.
You know, I kind of respect it. It's a long show. You have to make cuts if you're going to do it middle school or high school. You can't like. It's pretty hard to do the entire show.
Mm-hmm. So leading up to the next number, which is Blood in the Water, Elle and Warner do get like a small little interaction where, you know, we get the iconic like, you got into Harvard? What? Like it's hard?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, iconic.
They don't mention this in the musical, but in the movie, they talk about how Warner was actually waitlisted at Harvard initially, and his daddy had to pull some strings.
Yeah.
Elle didn't have to do that.
Nope.
She got there on a lot of privilege, but she also got there on her own merit. She worked really hard.
Yeah. She flew all the way there to talk to the guy.
Yeah, she pulled her own strings.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I just think that's iconic.
Totally.
All right, Blood in the Water. We're introduced to another scummy man.
Spooky.
That should be a horror movie. Blood in the Water.
Yeah.
We're introduced to our spooky Professor Callahan.
And he sucks.
Yeah, he does.
He really sucks. I don't like him.
The entire song is him just describing his terrible ethos as a lawyer.
Totally.
He values money over everything else. He owns, was it $1 million or $1 billion law firm? Doesn't matter. It's a very well-off law firm who mostly takes on shitty clients because shitty clients make the most money.
Yep. He's very upsetting. He's the whole like, if you want to be a lawyer, you have to be a shark. That's what he's getting at with the blood in the water.
Yeah.
Analogy.
Guys like him are why people don't like lawyers.
Yeah. And don't trust them.
Yeah.
Grr. Yeah, no, he really sucks. But I think we can agree the song is really good.
It's the best Disney villain song I ever heard. He like pulls out these different scenarios. Like, oh, let's say, you know, you meet this guy who like basically robbed his grandma of all of her retirement savings and like spent it on drugs and porn, would you take him as a client? And like the one student that he's asking, he's like, no, I don't want to take that guy as a client. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And Callahan is like, wrong. He's going to make you a lot of money and you're to take that money. And he can also get you drugs and porn. I'm like,
yeah, he's not hiding who he really is at all.
He's really not. He is the type of guy who would take on like Brock Turner as a client.
Ugh.
He's probably Brock Turner's attorney. I mean, he does literally take Brooke Wyndham as a client, and he thinks she literally murdered someone.
Yeah, he's definitely fully convinced that she did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
he thinks she won't give up the alibi because she doesn't have one.
Yeah. In another timeline, he would have taken on the O.J. Simpson case.
Ugh. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, so at the end of the number, okay, I'll admit, Elle does not come off too well. She's not prepared at all. She had no idea that there was a signed reading for the first day of class. And yeah, I get it. It's not a good look. Well, so Callahan, like, actually kind of pits her and Vivienne against each other initially. Because he calls on Vivienne, who's like, oh, what would you do in this situation if you were a professor and like owned a law firm and you were proud of your work? And then this blonde student came totally unprepared. How would you handle that, Miss Kensington? And she totally takes the opportunity to be like, I'd throw her out.
I mean, she's kind of rude before that, though, from what I remember, right? To Elle? Or there's like a body language or a face. She
definitely like makes a face or makes some sort of comment,
because Warner was talking to Elle when they get there, and then
oh yeah, you're right.
And then I think probably part of her like knew who Elle was and was like upset that they were talking, so maybe that's where it was coming from.
Yeah, I could see that.
But Callahan definitely
eggs it on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, pretty shitty.
Also, I just hate teachers that do that.
Yeah, where they like try to pit the students against each other.
It's so weird. Why do you want that? That's a really weird. That tells me that you don't think you are capable of getting the respect of a room of teenagers that are or adults that are unified.
Yeah, it's even crazier to do it in a class full of adults.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it in context of like when teachers done that to me, which I would have been a teenager. But yeah, I mean, in a college class is insane.
Yeah, it's a grad class, but yeah, you're right.
Positive.
The next number is positive.
Which is really I had no idea.
It's the same melody as serious.
Yeah, which is
I
great.
love that. I love when musicals do that.
Definitely.
Positive, serious. Basically, in this number, I would say both Elle and Vivienne are doing some internalized misogyny right now.
Yes. Also, it's still so weird that she has my name.
Yeah. Vivienne 100% started it, though.
She did.
Well,
she technically started it in terms of like actually being rude to Elle first. But Elle did, in fact, come to Harvard with the sole intention of stealing her boyfriend.
Yeah. You know what?
So
I guess, okay, I take it back. Elle technically started it because she is there to pursue Warner, who is already in a new relationship.
Which she technically didn't know before that, but it doesn't deter her at all. So.
No, it does not. So that's not great.
Yeah.
The way Vivienne handles it, though, is so not okay.
Nope.
I know, like, I get, like, not liking a girl who is, like, coming for your man. What I don't get is why do you also have to, like, personally attack her in the process?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think even then it's, like, to be put off by that and, you know, put up boundaries and be like, I don't like this person. I don't want to be around this person when it's avoidable. I don't necessarily want you to be around this person. Like, this is, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is an uncomfortable situation. That's one thing. But then what Vivienne does is just a completely different thing. Like, it's not even just not liking her. It's, like, actively harming her.
Vivienne has every right to not like Elle right now, it would be very frustrating to have worked your ass off to get into this prestigious law school and, be taken seriously as a woman. And then here comes this other person just not taking it seriously at all. Honestly,
Yeah, I'd be frustrated too.
yeah, I I get that, but she just is so demeaning about it.
Right. And I think, well, that's the issue is like you said, she has every right to be frustrated with Elle, but none of the valid reasons to be frustrated are what she says or what she brings up. She doesn't say any of those things. And in fact, it even seems like she doesn't care about any of that. She really only cares about, or seems to be at the beginning, frustrated by the fact that Elle was like talking to Warner and clearly is there to get Warner. And I don't think she, if the real frustration is like, oh, this girl's not taking it seriously, she's making us look bad, like if that's actually what was happening in Vivienne's mind, that wasn't translated to any degree. She didn't talk about her frustrations with that. She just said was mean.
No,
She didn't even talk about what she was frustrated with at all. She just starts insulting Elle, as you said.
yeah, she just comes off super condescending and just mean. And also, like, the way she interacts with Warner in front of Elle, it doesn't seem like she even, like, actually likes him. It just seems like she's dangling Warner in front of Elle.
I agree. I think, yeah, I don't know. That's like the one thing that's kind of confusing about the movie and the musical is like,
What does she see in him?
why are they together at all? It's kind of odd. Because, yeah, I mean, Vivienne's clearly just like insanely smarter than him. Like, what do they talk about?
Honestly, I have no idea. The future, I guess.
That's my only thought is like, I think kind of both of them are just in it because the other one is like what they envision themselves with.
Yeah, and what their families envision for them.
Exactly.
Compet.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, can Vivienne just like? I feel like her and Elle is a way better ship than her and Warren. What's going on there?
Well, actually,
that's my perfect ending to Legally Blonde.
I would love
but it's
that.
fine. Emmett's cool. I like Emmett. Whatever.
Yeah. But then, like, for Elle's part, so, Vivienne is, like, insulting her as, like, basically, you dumb blonde. Elle responds with, like, oh, yeah? Well, I'm hotter than you.
Right.
And I'm going to twerk in front of Warner to get him to like me again. I don't know how to phrase it. There's a lot of references in this show to, like, using your appearance and, like, sex appeal to, like, get men's attention.
Right. And I think that's kind of as sad as it is. I think Elle thinks that's like all that would work at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like she thinks that nobody, like it wouldn't work to win over Warner with her mind and impress him. That she's actually serious and smart. She just thinks, oh well, if I just appeal to his like sex drive.
Yeah, that's absolutely what she thinks. Because I think that unfortunately it was the basis of their entire relationship. They were like basically the quarterback and the head cheerleader.
Yeah, it was all appearances and like lust.
Yeah. And that is really sad.
Yeah.
I think both of these women are, they're centering men and trying to get this man's attention
when they're both so much cooler than him.
But the way they approach it is different. Elle is like, leaning into like if it's the Madonna whore complex is what we're going to compare it to. Elle is leaning into like the horror side of it, which is horrible to say, but she's like, I'm hot, I'm conventionally attractive, I've got the moves, I can twerk, and that's how I get men to like me.
Yeah.
Whereas Vivienne would be more of a Madonna, where it's like, I'm reserved, I'm very demure, very mindful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think of have you seen Sex Education? Mm-hmm. So there's that scene where Maeve and what's her face are like fighting over Otis, who's like a pasty white boy, and Amy, my favorite character, she literally like just breaks and she's like, stop fighting over a stupid boy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this number.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just like, you both are amazing women. Why are you fighting over this piece of shit? All right, I want to talk about Ireland.
It's your song.
This is my song. We meet Paulette.
Yep. In the flesh.
Okay. It's unfortunate that, you know, they keep reducing things down to physical appearance. But I think it's just such a sweet bonding moment between these two women. So basically, like, Elle shows up at the salon. She's like, make me a brunette.
Yeah.
And Paulette is like, no.
She's like, why would I do that?
Yeah, like she cannot wrap her head around this bombshell wanting to change her appearance for a man, which on the one hand is like very sweet. On the other hand, she's like, you're so hot though. You're like what every man wants.
Yeah.
So like I don't get
the third boob comment. Is pretty funny, but also
yeah. She also like encourages her to like keep pursuing him. So
yeah.
But it's still very sweet. She like basically we see where she's coming from, where basically like her dream man is like an Irish man, and she thought she met that man. His name is Dewey, and they were together for 10 years, and he turned out to like be abusive.
Probably.
Yeah, they don't actually say that, but it's heavily implied.
Yeah,
he took her dog. So
well, he like kept her dog and then kicked her out.
Yeah. And like didn't let her come back for the dog,
which is really fucked up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that alone is a pretty big sign of some sort of abuse happening in that relationship.
Yeah, that clearly at the very least was very toxic.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty common tactic in abusive relationships is to like basically use pets as leverage. And if someone like a big reason why a lot of people stay in abusive relationships is because of their pets, and because a lot of domestic violence shelters don't allow pets. So yeah, they just don't want anything happening to their fur babies, understandably. Yeah, I love Paulette. I love doing this role so much. She's so funny.
I love her too. And I think she also is, maybe a character that could be described as a bimbo. But I think she's made out to be a little bit older than Elle and the rest of the characters that we're with. And I think there's something really nice about, I don't know, I think there's kind of maybe a second stereotype alongside the bimbo, which is the like kind of washed up, which is like a horrible way to put it, but like the washed up bimbo kind of thing that I think maybe Paulette is supposed to be like representing that stereotype to a certain degree. And I think it's beautiful because there's no judgment from Elle or anything like that. Like they both, or to each other. Like Paulette's just like, hey, what's going on? And there's no judgment of like, how would you do that? She's just gonna like, you're like gorgeous. What are we talking about? And then Paulette goes on her whole thing about, her obviously not great experience with her ex, and then wanting this like Irishman or whatever. And Elle's literally just like, that's so beautiful. Like she's just like so into it, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so sweet.
And their friendship is just so good. I just love to see like, just older women being represented in that way. You know what I mean? I think oftentimes same way for younger women, but for the older women can only be like two types of characters, either just like senile, like bitchy old lady, or like the grandma type that's like, oh, can I get you some food? And oh, how you doing, sweetie? Like it's like one or the other. Not like, obviously those are older than Paulette's aimed to be, but still, you know what I mean?
I love that you describe Paulette as a bimbo because first of all, she's written to be not as conventionally attractive as Elle.
Right.
And also she has a much more like I don't know, like quirky, like
Sure.
alternative style. I loved my Paulette costumes. They were so awesome and like stuff I would wear. And I think like it was really cool that even then, you know, in a character who um you know, you wouldn't typically think of as a bimbo is still basically a bimbo and
Yeah.
like you could totally like uh you know, give her that label and it's like I wouldn't say empowering, but I would say like ahead of its time considering what bimboism has turned into now where like
Right.
it's expanded to like yeah, there are alternative bimbos. There are, you know, older bimbos. She's still white.
Paulette is,
She's still
anyways.
white and blonde.
But yeah, I totally get you.
In some productions,
Some more
she's
room
been like
in what bimbo means.
yeah, there yeah, like definitely like a little bit of expansion of the label. Also like in some productions like she is plus sized. Yeah, I love Paulette. What do you think of Chip on My Shoulder?
It's a song. No, I'm just kidding. I like it. I think it's nice to get a little bit more information on Emmett, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's not like a crazy amount of information, like literal backstory, but
They do give him more to do than in the movie.
right. And just a little bit more like depth to his character, I guess, which in the movie like isn't the focus, so it's cool, like he's fine, but you know, he's clearly a much smaller character and they just like his only role is to be like, oh my god, Elle, you're amazing, I love you. Like that's like the whole, which
Hey,
is great.
I'm not complaining.
No, I'm not complaining about it either. We see it in the flipped way all the time where it's like a male character that's the main character and then the female character is literally only there to be like, oh my god, you're so great. So you know, to see it in reverse is nice.
So the fake costume party happens right before this. So like Elle showed up in a Playboy bunny costume and like Vivienne like tricked her to bully her even more.
Yeah.
Elle played it off really well though. She basically was like, "Oh, I like dressing this way. Also, I'm Gloria Steinem in 1963. Are you calling Gloria Steinem a skank?"
Right.
I think that's so good. She's of course referencing when Gloria Steinem, who's like a famous feminist activist from the second wave of feminism, she literally infiltrated like the Playboy mansion and like all of the clubs that Hugh Hefner owned and like became a Playboy bunny to basically write a hit piece
Yeah.
on Hugh Hefner. And she was the reason that the working conditions for the Playboy bunnies slightly improved.
Right.
So like that's such a power move. I
Totally.
love that. I don't know. What do you think of this change? So in the movie, the party happens. Warner is basically like, "Oh, you're not going to get the internship. You're not smart enough."
Mm-hmm.
And she basically like realizes, "Oh, I'm never going to be good enough for him." Well, fuck you. I'm going to start taking this seriously now. And she like totally pulls through on her own.
Ooh,
Here, she runs out of that party crying after Warner still isn't taking her seriously. And Emmett like finds her crying and she like, you know, is explaining what has been going on and he offers to help her. I don't know, what do you think of that change? Whereas she initially did it herself, now Emmett is stepping in to help her.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's mostly just to give Emmett's role a little bit more to do, for sure. Of like, that way he can be standing next to Elle in a lot of scenes and get more stage time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's nice, obviously, in the first movie that she kind of realizes it herself. But I will say, in the movie, while she does come to this moment of her own accord, it's a little bit more like spiteful than anything. like you said, like it's a little bit more like, well, fuck you, Warner. I'm gonna prove that I am smart and like show you what you're missing, kind of vibe. Whereas when Emmett steps in, it's more of like him being like, you have a really great opportunity here if you wanted to take it seriously. Like, Warner actually doesn't matter. Shocker. Warner's actually not really that important. So I don't know. I think that kind of distinction is sort of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like both versions.
Yeah. I like it because number one, I think you make an excellent point where, yeah, in the movie, she kind of did do it out of spite. And a part of learning how to decenter men is to not do things just to spite men.
Right.
I mean, it's fun. I'll admit it. Doing things to spite men is fun.
But I think that's where a lot of like the anti-bimboism comes from, of like wanting to reject that hyperfemininity, is like a spite thing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah. And like part of learning how to truly decenter men is to, I don't know, just not give them a second thought. You're just like, I'm not doing this to spite anyone. I actually don't really care what men think about me. Like that's not even, that hasn't even crossed my mind. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah, you're just doing what you want to do.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that's an excellent point. I also like that Emmett has the same frustrations with Elle that everybody else at this school does.
Mm-hmm.
But his approach is completely different because he is obviously coming from the fact that like he had kind of a rough upbringing. I think he was raised by a single mom and they didn't have a lot of money, and he really had to work his ass off to probably get like grants or scholarships to even like get to Harvard Law.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know that he necessarily was a student of Harvard Law.
Yeah, maybe not.
Like we were talking about before, it's kind of unclear what Emmett's actual role is, but it does seem like he is a lawyer. Like he's fully out of law school at this point, if he's licensed. So if that's the case, it's possible he didn't even go to Harvard Law and he has a law degree from
like a less expensive school.
Right, exactly, like somewhere that would be a little bit more financially sound of a choice.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where the title chip on my shoulder comes from. Where, yeah, it would be kind of annoying to like bust your ass and like come from that type of background. And here comes this super privileged woman just really not taking it seriously at all. It's like, oh, I actually didn't come here because I want to be a lawyer. I came here because I want to get my ex back.
Yeah.
That would be totally frustrating. But just he handles it so graciously, and and instead of condescending to her, he's like, why don't I help you study?
Yeah.
Why don't I help you make a couple changes?
Well, and I think there's part of him too that's also like, when Elle like tells people like, oh, well, I'm just here to get my ex back, the responses are varied. Like Paulette's like, ooh, yeah, get your man, girl, and like Vivienne's obviously like, fuck this girl, like get out. And like
they're like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right. And like that's kind of the responses that she tends to get. But with Emmett, his response, I think there's part of him that's kind of like, this girl really doesn't even care about being a lawyer and is still got into Harvard Law and is still here. You know what I mean? Like, I think part of it made him also realize she does actually have a lot of potential. Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you that it's possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because everyone else is telling her it's not. So.
Yeah. I will say, and again, like, we know it's coming from a good place, but just when he goes to like her room or whatever, and it's like, okay, in order for you to take your future law career seriously, you have to get rid of these clothes, and you have to give up this and that and the other. I don't know that all of that was necessary. I don't see, like, I guess he's trying to help her dress more professionally.
Yeah.
Which is totally understandable. because you kind of have to learn how to do that.
As stupid as professionalism is, it's a real thing and people care about it.
Yeah. So like I get where it comes from. I just don't understand how that translates to, and you also have to get rid of the clothes you already have.
Yeah. I also think that's kind of just dramatic effect, though.
I suppose.
It's like something to look at on the stage of them
I
like
think-
throwing clothes and whatever.
Again, like I think he has good intentions, just sometimes I think his ways of helping don't make sense. So like so we fast forward to like the winter holidays, for instance, and as a present, he gets her a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, which Paulette is there too. I remember when
he doesn't know any better. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's like that's like a huge. They're very bad for your hair. When I remember when I played, because Paulette is in the scene for that, and they're like hanging out, and she like Elle opens the present. It's like it's a 2-in-1. My Elle Woods screamed. She was like ah, and she passed it to me like hot potato, and I went ah, and I dropped it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
People laughed at that. Are you trying to ruin her beautiful blonde locks?
Yeah.
But anyway, all that to say, he says that it's a time saver, which okay, that's a take, I suppose. I just don't.
How much does it? 10 minutes, maybe.
I don't know. Like, I just don't see what that has to do with studying hard for school.
Yeah, I think that's like Emmett knows that I think it's just a really, like you were saying, like it doesn't really make sense, but his heart is definitely in the right place, because I think he's trying to think about practicality, but he also knows that she really likes hair and makeup and fashion, so he was like, well, it's a gift that, like, you know what I mean, like,
yeah.
he's like, I don't want to just get her something that I think is practical. I want it to be related to something she would actually like. So that's, I think, where he was coming from. Is he like, well, it's a hair thing, so she would like it, right? But no.
Yeah, he's a little confused, but he's got the spirit.
He's trying.
But I think it's a good parallel for what happens later, whereas Emmett is very good at all of the practical stuff. He's not very good with what Elle is really good at, which is appearances and fashion.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's kind of obviously meant to be like a juxtaposition for Take It Like a Man later. Like,
yeah,
they are kind of like, here he's helping her, and then they switch it later on.
Yeah, that's why I ultimately don't have a problem with the change from the movie.
Same. Yeah. I think they even it out in a way that feels like good. It doesn't feel like he's holding her hand through it or whatever. It just feels like they're friends.
There is one point in the number where they're in class and they're talking about the case of the anonymous sperm donor. That's iconic, I have to say, because
Elle wipes the floor with
just
everyone.
gags Warner.
Yeah.
She basically is just like, well, because Warner is arguing like, oh, this anonymous sperm donor had a right to see his child because it's his sperm. But then Elle is basically like, oh, has he tried to contact like every person that he donated his sperm to? Like, why this child specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Why now? Why this sperm? And if that's the case, every time a guy masturbates, you could call that reckless abandonment.
Right.
I'm just like, literally go off, especially like just the political climate right now with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. People have actually like brought up this scene as a way to make a point. It's like, yeah, why are we controlling female bodies? I know like people have proposed like, oh, what if we just tried to regulate male bodies in the same way? You can't masturbate anymore unless it's for procreation purposes.
Right.
To like point out how ridiculous it is to control anyone's bodies.
It is.
Yeah, I just had to bring that up because that's iconic. Okay, so the next number is So Much Better.
Great song.
Yeah. Amazing end to Act 1. We do get the scene before where Elle helps Paulette rescue the dog or whatever, and she has like this really great moment of realizing, oh my god, like I could use my position as a future lawyer and my privilege to help people.
Yeah, totally.
That's what being a lawyer is supposed to be.
I don't think she ever really thought about like. I don't think she really ever thought any of this shit through before she decided to try to follow Warner to Harvard Law School, because I don't think any of part of her considered like, am I gonna just go to law school the whole time and like graduate and take the bar? I don't think any part of her like thought about, you know, what she would do as a lawyer, or like, I don't think any part of her ever thought about becoming a lawyer, even though she was applying for law school and going through all this effort to like be there. And then finally she starts being able to think about it. She's like, oh, I could actually, you know, do some good stuff with this, and I think I'm actually pretty good at it.
Yeah. And it's like, I love that, you know, helping another woman was how she came to that conclusion.
Yeah.
So that leads us
You're
into
taking a dog, dumbass.
Yes. And then that leads us to So Much Better, where
Right.
she
Gets the internship.
she gets the internship, which I think she really wasn't expecting that.
She doesn't even look at the list at the beginning. She's just like,
Emmett has to like
distraught.
tap her shoulder.
But she's very distraught because Warner proposes to Vivienne.
Which Vivienne, by the way, like gives Elle a look before accepting the proposal.
Yeah.
Which again, like kind of
It's
tells
kinda
me she doesn't really
slimy.
like Warner that much.
Yeah, I don't think she really cares about Warner at all. But yeah, and then she's not even looking, and she's singing the first like sad part, which does come back later when she's sad again, the same melody. But then it switches to the whatever, I forget what she
says. There's the switch. You're just like,
it's
whoa,
really upbeat, and she's like talking about, I'm gonna be there an hour before they open, and like she's just like ecstatic.
Talk to me about why this is such a big moment for her.
Honestly, she strikes me as somebody who hasn't really thought a whole lot about what she wants to do at all. Even before she went to Harvard Law, and she was just thinking about what to do with her like fashion degree. I kind of think she was maybe just planning to marry Warner, and just like that was the plan. Just marry Warner and be a housewife or whatever. And so I think this moment's really big because she just gets to. She is not only realizing of her own accord, but also like a higher up is recognizing that she has skill, or like that she has what it takes to be there and to do well.
Yeah. And I think it's the first time in her life where she realizes her own worth outside of men.
Right.
And outside of her physical appearance.
Yeah. I mean, she very quickly doesn't give a fuck about Warner and Vivienne's engagement as soon as finding out about that. She's like over it very quickly.
She really is. She's like, oh, you know what? Good for you guys. I'm gonna have some fun with this internship.
And then throughout the internship, they almost, especially in the movie, from what I remember, they almost seem like friendly, like all of them, like Enid and Elle and Warner and Vivienne, like they're all working together and they are like getting along.
Yeah, there's not really any drama between any of them.
At least not at the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty powerful. That once they start working as a team, they're able to like put all their bullshit aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this song so much. It's so beautiful and empowering.
Yeah.
And I just love seeing this woman take pride in her accomplishments.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also, like, side note, one of the most vocally challenging songs.
Yeah, I guess this would be a good time to bring up that Elle Woods is a difficult role.
It's insane. Like, triple threat to the max.
Yeah. All the crazy dance moves. This is like the high note.
She holds it for like 6 years.
Yeah, she holds it for like a bajillion minutes.
Yeah.
For all eternity.
Literally. Some say she's still singing it.
We will now be taking a quick intermission. If you're enjoying this episode so far, be sure to check out the extended version on my Patreon. That's right, for just $3 a month, you get early access to the extended versions of each episode, as well as the occasional bonus episode, some bonus content, and a shout out on the podcast. Once again, that's just $3 a month. Patreon will be in the description box down below. And now let us return to our seats for Act 2. Act 2. We start with Whipped into Shape.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No.
What?
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
So Whipped into Shape.
Yeah.
We're introduced to Brooke Wyndham.
It's me.
Oh, what was it like to play this role?
She's so fun, honestly. She's just like I don't know. She, in the context of the film and the musical, she's so fun and like somebody that you can kind of resonate with because she keeps it pretty real. Like she's the most like reasonable character in certain bits, and you're like, how is this lady the one that I'm like that's like saying what everybody's thinking, you know? When you really think about her character, she's actually a shit person.
Yeah, she's like literally a scam artist.
Yeah, she's literally getting lipo on her thighs and then making exercise videos that convince everyone that she has those thighs from her exercises, and she actually just has liposuction.
Kylie Jenner, Kim
Does she exercise
Kardashian.
videos?
This is a really funny number. There is some fat phobia in it, which is unfortunate, but I don't know. I just think it's fun.
And there definitely is. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, as I was already saying, she's definitely like that fitness influencer that fully makes money off of making fat people feel bad for being fat. Like that's her whole business practice.
That is a whole industry.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of people's business practice. But that's totally what she's doing, and which is shitty. But as much as all of this is true, in the context of the musical, she's a queen. She's girl bossing, gatekeeping, and gaslighting.
Yep. This is a hard number, and Brooke is a hard role too.
Yeah, well, like originally or conventionally, you would do the whole, like all the choreography as Brooke while also singing. They did not let me do that in my production, and I was like, why not? I think they were maybe concerned about noise from the jump roping in hindsight, because I was the only one mic'd up. And if I was also jumping jump rope on our stage, like it was kind of a loud stage. So I don't know if that was what they were concerned about, but they didn't let me do the dance. I was able to do like the dance break while I'm not singing, but I wasn't allowed to do both, and I was very sad because I was like, I could do that, but it would have been very difficult. Brooke's song is cool too because it's pretty low register for women in Broadway. Like
for the most part, yeah. There's like one high note and like one riff, but that's about it.
But like most of the song is in a pretty low like it's an alto friendly song. We love.
Yeah. Great song. Then we get the quick Delta Nu Nu Nu, where we learn Elle and Brooke are sorority sisters.
Yeah, it's so cutesy.
Again, going back to like sisterhood, we see immediately that all of the things that people don't take Elle seriously for are gonna help her in this trial,
right?
Because she's literally the only person on the team that Brooke trusts and like gives the alibi to, because she trusts that Elle is gonna keep it a secret.
Yeah, and I think it also just goes to show that like you were saying earlier, there should be a lot of variety in terms of like who are becoming lawyers. Like we should have a really wide set of people that are going into that. If she wasn't a sorority girl with like a fashion degree, she would never have been able to bond with Brooke in that way. Which also goes to show, like we were saying before, with the degrees aspect of it, like any degree could be useful as a lawyer. But on top of that, any life experience could be useful as a lawyer, because it's not just about like doing the law part, but it's also relating to your clients and having some kind of rapport with the clients and with other lawyers and like whatever, you know? So anyways.
Like one of the reasons I do headcanon Elle as an autistic person is because she's so deeply committed to keeping her promise to keep the alibi a secret, to the point where the rest of the team is like frustrated with her because they're like, realistically, like you do want to give the alibi because it would win you the case easily.
Yeah.
But, you know, keeping her morals is more important to her.
Yeah.
And she's like, we can win the case another way.
Which, again, that's the kind of lawyer I would want to have.
Yeah.
Asking me.
Yeah. Like autistic people, as a general rule, they're not all good people, but they all do have like a very strong moral code and sense of justice.
Right. Well, everyone's morals are different. You can have a strong moral code. And
Elon Musk.
Shit, but at the end of the day, yeah, like you said, they're pretty. They don't stray from it the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Neurotypical people might.
We next get "Take It Like a Man."
Love this song.
It's so good.
It's so funny too that like the play on, because "Take It Like a Man" is obviously a pretty misogynistic statement that
like
used,
the toxic
like,
masculinity.
Yeah, and I just love that in this context it's being used for like a very feminine, perceived as feminine task. Like, take it like a man, and it's me putting clothes on you and giving you a makeover.
Yes.
And I love it.
It's so good. I love that it's presented in a way where, you know, she's not forcing him to like dress in the way she wants him to, or like, you know, she's not making him wear anything he doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
She's just first of all, she's basically like buying him nicer clothes, because up to this point he's kind of just been wearing the same like tan tweed jacket.
Yeah,
because we get the sense
blazer,
like he can't afford anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So
she even says it.
Yeah, he's just like, I can't afford these clothes. She's like, don't worry about that, it's my treat.
Yeah.
So again, so she's using her privilege to help someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just about him finding like his style and like what makes him feel more confident.
Yeah,
I think this is where they kind of start to get feelings for each other, like mutually.
Well, he's at this point very much into her.
Yes.
Which is why I feel like it must have started much earlier than that, because he's like, she's kind of still like, oh, you know, I kind of seen him differently than I have before in that scene, and that's like the first time she's thinking that way. But he's like looking at her longing. He's yearning already. We're already a yearning for him. So I feel like he had to have developed feelings earlier.
And all the jokes where it's like, "Love" by Chanel, or "Subtext" by Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
And like very much just joking and hinting at the underlying feelings.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I think you're right, she's not quite there yet, because in the following number, which is Bend and Snap, Paulette kind of like brings up the idea and she's like, oh, no, he's just a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But also, how many people have said that about a person they absolutely had a crush on?
You know what? You make a good point.
So, who knows? So, he takes it like a man.
Yes, he does. And then we get Bend and Snap.
Which is so fun and so problematic. But we don't care. We love it anyways.
Why are like the most fun songs so problematic?
Because it's 2000. What did you say? 2000.
The musical came out in 2007.
There you go. It's 2007. That's why.
I love this number so much. It was so much fun to do. But you're totally right. It's literally all about,
hey, look at my butt.
Look at my ass.
Look at my butt. That's what the song's about. Look at my butt.
No, literally, like the song starts off with one of the Greek chorus girls going, look at my ass, look at my thighs. I'm catnip to the guys.
I don't remember how they do that in the junior version, because Bend and Snap is still in the junior version. And that's what we did, because middle school. And she definitely didn't say ass.
My high school did, look at my sass, look at my eyes. Like, obviously, there's nothing wrong with, like, being sexy.
Right.
Or wanting to dress in a sexy way. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. Doing it to get men's attention, not great. Because, I don't know, you don't want to be with someone who only likes you for your looks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Totally.
Like, I think we're all aware of that, which is why you can just have fun with the number.
I agree. I mean, the number's like not that bad at all, and
It's just
there's
funny.
a lot of much worse things, you know.
Yeah, and it literally ends with Paulette completely butchering it and like breaking Kyle's nose.
Yeah,
So good.
it was good.
So next we have another problematic but super fun number, Gay or European.
Again, also like not the worst song ever. It's the main crime is just some stereotypes that can be mildly harming, but I don't think any of even the stereotypes they do use are like not like super harmful negative stereotypes. They're not great.
Okay, but like, so the queer community has low key like reclaimed this song. We reclaim stereotypes just in general.
Mm-hmm.
There have been parodies made of this song to like fit the 21st century. I've seen one where it's like, is she a lesbian or just Gen Z? With like the septum ring and like the witchy tote bag.
Yeah.
Which I have both of those. And I'm a lesbian, so you know. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of gay stereotypes, and I guess also like stereotypes about European men, which is obviously where that comes from. And they're obviously referring to the pool boy who is claiming to have had an affair with Brooke.
Right.
And that's obviously not true because the bend and snap didn't work on him.
I know.
So obviously that means he's gay.
Well, and in the movie, it's like he knows that her shoes are Prada or whatever. And that's like, and she's like, oh my God, he's gay. Yeah. Just because he knows the brand of her shoes. Which, by the way, Prada was a bad example because I don't know if you know this, but Prada shoes say Prada on them almost all the time.
Yeah. That was like, what?
Yeah. But, I do think there's part of not the song itself, but like the stereotypes that are being presented there that is actually more misogynistic than it is like homophobic or like against the European people.
Well, a lot of homophobia does stem from misogyny.
Exactly. And I think because essentially they're just like, hey, this dude's kind of feminine, so obviously that means he must be gay or European because he can't just be a straight guy and a straight American guy that's feminine. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a weird thing to be suggesting, but the song is like just hilarious. I love it.
It's so funny.
It's hysterical.
And okay.
Also, by the way, completely forgot this, but I was listening to the songs like the other day just to refresh myself on some of them. This song is not called Gay or European.
No, it's not. You're right.
It is called There, Right There, and that is dumb, and they should fix it.
Yeah, in my head, it's Gay or European.
It's Gay or European. Everybody calls it that. Nobody is calling it There, Right There. That's like not the name of the song. Anyways.
Yeah. We find out from this dude's boyfriend, which, by the way, the way it slips out is just funny. Emmett kind of trips him up, which is awesome to see. And then he tries to backtrack. He's like, oh no, he's my best friend.
Yeah. I just love too that Emmett like not even once questions Elle a little bit. In the at the beginning, she's like, he's gay. And Emmett's like, what? And everybody's like, what? And he's like, and she's just like, he's gay. I know he's gay. Like, there's no way that his story is real because he's gay. And then Emmett's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes. And he's like, okay. And then he just runs with it. Like, he doesn't really question it at all.
It's so nice that he just believes her.
Yeah, he just trusts her.
Isn't that so crazy that a man just believes a woman?
Yeah.
No questions asked?
Yeah.
That's revolutionary. And turns out she's right.
Mm-hmm.
I love the line where his boyfriend is like, this man is gay and European.
I know.
I guess I'm very confused why the boyfriend is suddenly so mad about this man being in the closet. Isn't that the whole reason he's there in the first place?
Yeah. Also, what is his motivation?
Was he offered a lot of money for this?
Did Chutney like pay him to do this? Like, yeah, seriously, what is the deal? Dude is just trying to send Brooke Wyndham's to jail forever for no reason.
It's very confusing.
Is he mad? Was he not getting paid enough as their pool boy? Was he getting skimped?
I have no idea.
I need his backstory.
And like, why was the boyfriend showing up to court with him and like totally fine with this fabricated story until it slipped out?
Right.
And then he tried to, like, bro, the whole reason you're here is because he's lying about not being gay. And you didn't have a problem with that until
it's like
now?
He said boyfriend and then like on accident and then tried to take it back and now you're mad?
It's one of those things that's very confusing. It makes no sense if you think about it too much.
Right. You just have to skip over. You're like, okay, whatever.
You just have to go with it.
In the context of the show, you like never question it. But then you're thinking about it and then you're like, wait, what the hell?
Are you ready to talk about the title song?
So sad.
So, obviously, they've made a major breakthrough in the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, everyone else kind of leaves early. And Callahan, like, gets a moment alone with Elle. And he initially is, like, complimenting her. Like, you did such a great job today.
Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of potential. And saying all these really nice things to her. And then he, like, makes a pass at her. In the movie, he's, like, grazing her thigh, which is so gross. But then in the musical, he just straight up kisses her forcibly, which is a form of sexual assault, by the way.
Right.
Basically, after this experience, she wants to quit.
So, I mean, you got to think, like, the turning point was when she gets the internship and she gets, like, Emmett's support. And then she's able to just, like, recognize that she is good at this and that she's, like, worthy or whatever. But then, like, most of that is pretty rooted in the fact that she did well enough to get the internship. And then to find out that the higher up that she respected that gave her that position only did it because he's attracted to her. Like, I think it just kind of shattered her confidence, to be honest. I just don't think she believed in herself anymore after that.
There was a line in the song that really stuck out to me and like destroyed me, where she says, some girls fight hard, some face the trial, some girls were just meant to smile.
Yeah.
So she's basically saying like this experience is like reinforcing what everyone already believes about her and what she has believed in herself, which is, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get emotional. You know, it like reinforces what she previously thought about herself, which is all anyone's ever going to see me as and all I'm ever going to be good for is being hot.
Yeah. Definitely.
And like being this sexual object to men.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super upsetting hearing her kind of think about herself that way. And
I think we've all been there. I think we've all had an experience like this that just makes us feel like less than human.
Like when you have a guy friend and you think you guys are just friends and then he like turns out he was just into you and then you turn him down and that means your friendship is over now. That's really upsetting.
It's happened to me so many times.
Yeah.
And like,
it sucks.
I'm very thankful now that the guy friends I have now, first of all, most of them are queer, so it's like a non-issue. But yeah, there was a time where I just didn't have very good friends in general, but especially guy friends.
Yeah.
There was a friend I had for a really long time. And you know, we had kind of drifted apart for a little bit, but we like reconnected and yeah, I just remember like when we were reconnecting, he had told me like, oh, I've seen your TikTok videos just on my For You page. And, you know, he talked about how inspiring that was and how like early on in her friendship, he really like admired me because I came off super confident. I was not super confident at that time, but he thought I was. And I was just I remember feeling very touched by that. I was
Mhm.
like, wow, that's like a really nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Um, so then to find out that he really just wanted me as like a fuck buddy, basically,
Mhm.
it was just heartening. It
Yeah.
it really was.
It makes you
And
feel really gross.
it
It's
made
like a
me
gross, not that like you are gross, but there's like, you know, that feeling of just like, I don't know,
it, yeah,
icky.
it made me feel really gross, and also the fact that like not to get into too much detail, but like you know, there was like one point where like we were texting and he like wasn't taking no for an answer, and he said some really really disgusting shit to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I literally like ghosted for like 2 weeks to like gather my thoughts, and then I finally told him off, and like he basically ended up admitting that he was trying to guilt trip me because I did call him on that.
Mm.
um I've been through a lot of bullshit with men in my life, but I think because I had known this person for so long
Yeah.
and like really held him in high regard, it's probably like the most hurtful thing that
Yeah.
I've ever experienced.
Yeah, that sounds really awful.
So, yeah, especially like I think when like Callahan like was giving Elle these compliments on like on her accomplishments and
Mm-hmm.
her intelligence, and it was completely undercut by what he did
Yeah.
because he didn't mean that shit.
No.
So it's like,
Or even if he did, it doesn't matter.
yeah, like obviously that's not what matters to you.
Yeah.
And so it kind of feels like, well, not feels like, they are bullshitting you.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, it's awful. And I hate when like she tells Emmett what happened and like he's trying to comfort her and it's just not landing.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to know how to comfort somebody in that situation, you know, unless you yourself have been there.
Yeah, totally. Which is why I love the next number, the Legally Blonde remix.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do not mind the change from the movie, but basically it's not Emmett that is able to give her a good pep talk. She needs the ladies,
Yeah.
the girls, because she's talking to Paulette that she's to say goodbye, and Vivienne steps in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where they officially make up. It happens earlier in the movie where Vivienne approaches her, is like, "Oh, I like that you didn't say the alibi. That's very classy of you."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we actually have a lot in common." And they're like bonding over the shitty men they have to deal with. Also in the movie, Vivienne does see Callahan making a move on Elle and
Mm-hmm.
assumes Elle is like sleeping her way to the top and like confronts her about it,
Yeah.
which kind of shakes her up even more. So I like that and then like she feels bad about it later when she learns what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
In the musical, I do appreciate the change of like she sees what actually happens,
Mm.
and when Warner is like making fun of Elle about it cuz he didn't see the whole thing, like he left before he could see that Elle was actually like rejecting Callahan.
Yeah.
So he's like making fun of her and like making some misogynistic comments, and Vivienne is like, "Warner, shut up."
Yeah.
And I think that was a turning point for her.
Totally. I think she realized that that dude's not like safe.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
think
that
he
easily
is.
could have been Vivienne in that situation. What would he have done then?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Callahan just happened to be a guy who wanted a Monroe type. If we're gonna go back to the original analogy that Warner makes, you know. But what if he was a Jackie type of guy?
Yeah. So even though I'm a little bummed that We don't get the woman professor who was in the movie, who's the one to give Elle the pep talk then.
Mm-hmm.
She literally is like, if you're gonna let one stupid man ruin your life, you're not the woman I thought you were.
I love that actress too. She ate that up. I'm like, I feel like she's in a couple other things maybe as well.
Yeah, it was really so good. Her. So even though I'm a little bummed that we didn't get to have that, I do like Vivienne being the one to basically say like, hey, actually, you're amazing and I was wrong about you and you shouldn't let those assholes like change your life like that.
I appreciate that it's not a dude.
Yes.
That's the main thing that I care about. Also, I just have to say, in this number, where the heck did she get the pink suit from? Like, it feels like this was all just a thing of dramatics. She knew she was going back the whole time. She brought the pink suit. She just wanted to fuck with everybody.
Or maybe she just found it in the supply closet.
Right. Maybe it was just there. For whatever reason.
Elle, honey, you're in the supply closet.
I know.
Yeah, she was in a closet.
What'd I say? I'm just kidding.
But I also love that rather than going back to like the traditional navy blue suit,
mm-hmm.
she's gonna go back in her style, as she says.
She's gonna wear a pink suit.
Yeah, and it's still like professional looking, but she's no longer trying to conform into something she's not.
Totally. And she looks great.
Yeah,
pink's definitely her color. Reese Witherspoon really wore that pink.
She really did. And I also just love, you know, all of her friends, her sorority sisters come out to support her.
Well, not all of them, but the main three.
The Greek chorus. She's like, oh, I don't need a Greek chorus anymore. And they're like, Elle, it's us.
Yeah, she's like,
what are you talking about? Her parents come to see her.
Yeah.
It like there's a whole parade. It's great. And then Kyle and Paulette do an Irish dance. That was so fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I love this number so much. I also had to do it in high heels, which was not easy.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, it's so good. I love it. I love this show. I love that Brooke straight up is just like, Callahan, you're fired.
In front of everyone too.
Oh, you know he did not like that.
Well, not only like emotionally like injuring his ego, which he deserves, but also like, you know, he's clearly a very successful lawyer. He's got to be like pretty high profile. Like, I'm sure there's like lots of articles and things written about him.
He's like Robert Kardashian.
Yeah, he's like a sought after lawyer. So the fact that he got fired by also a very high profile client that's extremely famous, fires him in front of everyone to then replace him with a law student.
Yeah.
That's a real big diss.
That is a power move.
Yeah. And that's like definitely not going to bode well for him in future professional proceedings.
That's probably the most unrealistic part of this whole show is, this really powerful rich man like actually faced consequences for his actions.
Right. Totally.
Then we get introduced to the stepdaughter, Chutney.
Mm-hmm.
That is her name.
Chutney.
I love that it's still somewhat realistic in that Elle doesn't immediately know what she's doing. Mm-hmm. She kind of stumbles at first. She was like, so you were in the shower and that's when you heard the gunshot.
Well, and she's particularly struggling with like the process of it all, I think. Like, she seems very unsure of like, how am I meant to say things? And am I supposed to, you know what I mean? Like, because when you're a lawyer, like there's specific proceedings, like the trial will go in a certain order and you have to like phrase things a certain way, otherwise somebody could try to like, you know, get you in trouble for that and like undermine your entire case because you used the wrong word. Like, there's a lot of pressure, I think, especially for somebody that's never done it before. So yeah, I think she's just really intimidated.
Yeah, totally. And that's normal. I just love how everyone is so frustrated at her. She keeps harping on the shower bit.
But she's right, and that is what real lawyers do also. They like...
Yeah, if a man was harping on the shower bit, it would be like, oh, he's doing his job. He's onto like, something.
What's he got, you know?
I keep thinking of the John Mulaney bit where he talks about what the kind of lawyer his dad is. This is the kind of lawyer John Mulaney's father is. It was like, you brush your teeth? Yeah. A little bit later, is this your toothbrush?
Yeah.
So we agree that this is your toothbrush.
Right. Like, it's like And that's the thing, like if you're ever questioned by a lawyer and they're asking you the same question multiple times,
You're fucked.
You're like, fuck, what did I, is it, should I answer the question differently? What is it? What they got? So yeah, anyways, it's super weird that everyone in the room is like so mad because it's like clearly she's going somewhere with it. Like, relax.
Yeah, especially after like she asks Chutney what she did earlier in the day, and she's like, "Oh, I did this and that, and then I got a perm." And then she's like, "You got a perm before you got in the shower?"
Right, like she's onto it, and everyone's like, "Okay." Like none of you have any clue what a perm is like.
Yeah, I guess literally not a one.
I didn't really know that it would be deactivated by water, like, until watching this movie. So I could understand not necessarily knowing that, but, like, clearly her pointing out the perm, she's got something. Like, it's really obvious that she's confident that she's got a lead here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they test out the water in the perm. They're like, see how the perm is no longer intact because it got wet? You are forbidden to wash your hair for at least 48 hours or however long it is.
The big reveal.
Yeah. There's like a whole line that's like super difficult to say because it's a big word.
It's like glonium diglycolate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so iconic. And then Chutney just breaks. And she's like, I didn't mean to shoot him. I thought it was you, Walker New York. Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what's going on with Chutney? She's got issues.
Look, I get that it would be weird for your dad to date someone younger than you.
Yeah, I mean, like Mary, actually. Her stepmom is younger than her. That's weird.
Yes, I get it. But murder?
Yeah, murder's crazy. And then also, like, she did not mean to murder her dad. She meant to murder her stepmom, which is still crazy. Why are you reverting to murder? But
how did you not see who walked through the door?
But also, are you not like immediately distraught that you just murdered your own father? Like, what part of you is capable of getting on the stand and lying and saying it was your stepmom who did it?
That girl needs help.
Yeah, well, she goes to prison for sure.
I don't know if that's not helping, but I love that after all of that, they won the case without having to reveal the alibi.
And Brooke fucking reveals it anyway.
Yeah. And then the fucking sorority girls are like, we still love you.
Mm-hmm.
They are really just ride or die for each other.
They're like, they don't care.
We don't care that
like, you're a Delta Nu? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay that you scammed millions of people.
Yeah, totally.
It is interesting that this is the moment where Warner finally realizes that Elle is actually smart and amazing and he wants to be with her.
He doesn't realize shit. That's the thing. Warner doesn't think for himself throughout the entire musical.
It's very true. He's not very introspective.
He has 2 brain cells and they're barely rubbing together. Like, he's literally just regurgitating whatever is being said around him. He thinks Elle is not serious because his parents say she's not serious and because society says she's not serious. So he breaks up with her, starts dating Vivienne because society says that she's serious and society says that she's acceptable. So he goes to her and he's like, cool, this is fine. My parents like her. This is cool. And then finally other people realize that Elle is like worth something. Like Emmett and the Delta Nu girls and Vivienne herself seems to like recognize like all of these other people are like, oh, actually Elle's really smart and cool. And then Warner's like, oh, you know what? I think Elle's really smart and cool. No, you don't. You literally just think that because everyone else thinks that now.
Also, you're only running back to her because Vivienne dumped you and like realized what a piece of shit you are.
Yeah.
And now Elle has realized what a piece of shit you are.
Yeah.
Elle is like so
She's really
surprisingly gracious about it though. Yeah.
She's really nice.
She's like, oh, Vivienne dumped you, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know what? Like, no, I'm not going to get back together with you. I wanted that for so long, but I don't want that anymore. But you know what? Good luck.
Yeah. No, she's really nice to him, honestly.
She has every right to rip him a new one.
Yeah. And she's so nice. And then he makes this like pouty face. Like he wants us to, like, he wants the audience to feel bad.
Yeah. She basically asks Emmett out on a date. She's like, hey, pick me up at 8.
Yeah.
Because like he's clearly like wanting to
Trying
ask her
to,
out
yeah.
and is getting too nervous,
He's
and she like picks
stuttering.
up on that.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
then
very
she
cute.
ends up proposing to him too.
Yes.
20 years later, which is great.
Which that didn't happen in the movie.
No.
In the movie, we didn't see it, but the little words that popped up were like, "Oh, Emmett's gonna propose to her tonight."
Yeah. Which I think it's way better having her propose. It's just the juxtaposition of like the beginning of the musical is her getting excited with all her friends, waiting for the ring, and then the end of the musical is her just
buying the ring her damn self,
doing it herself, and I love it. It's perfect. I think it's just really like it's a good way to emulate kind of what the musical is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, it doesn't happen immediately. Like, yeah, they start dating right after the trial, but then she doesn't propose to him until graduation, which is like 3 years later. So they're
Right.
together for
How
a
long
while.
is law school? 3 years?
Just about, yeah.
Okay.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It depends on the program you're doing.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that's so beautiful. And his response is exactly the same as like the stereotypical girls.
Oh my, oh my, oh my God.
It's exactly the response that like stereotypically women react. You're like, "Ah." And then Paulette ends up with Kyle.
Yay!
And they get, oh, by the way, it is revealed that he's Irish because his full name is Kyle Brendan Boyle.
Well, that's the thing. In the Ireland song, she specifically says she dreams of a guy named Brendan. She like had a dream about this Irish guy that she was like was her perfect man, and in the dream his name was Brendan.
Yes.
And then this dude's middle name is Brendan. It was perfect.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And they have.
She's like, I'm gonna just call you Brendan now. He's like, what? She's
Yeah.
like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. And then they have 2 kids and a third one on the way. Yeah, that's pretty much the show. So I think to go back to my thesis, this is what bimbo feminism is supposed to be.
Yeah. I think, Elle really just proves that you can be pretty and like feminine in a way that in any way, but especially in a way that is typically perceived as bimbo ness. I don't know how to phrase that. But like typically would maybe be ridiculed or whatever, but you could be that femininity and you can lean into that while not having to give up like also being smart and driven and ambitious and all the things.
Yeah. And also
you can be all the things. That's what Legally Blonde's about. You can be all the things.
You can be all the things.
Yeah.
You can be multifaceted as a woman.
As many
it's
things
this
as
crazy thing.
It's crazy.
And also that you have inherent worth as a human being regardless of your level of intelligence or the life path you choose. Elle could have opted not to go to Harvard Law School. She could have taken that film career or been a model, and she still would have been worthy.
Absolutely.
And I think that's different from like choice feminism, which I feel like some people watching may misinterpret what we're saying as choice feminism, because choice feminism is like basically saying like any choice is a feminist one if a woman is making it. And that's not what that is, because women absolutely do perpetuate the patriarchy.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, like that in as a sentence like isn't wrong per se, but it's like obviously there's limits to that concept.
It's more so to say that just everybody is a human being who deserves rights and protections.
Right.
And like women shouldn't have to constantly prove themselves to be treated like human beings or like earn their rights. Right. Whether someone is a lawyer or a model or conventionally attractive and super feminine or not conventionally attractive and like more androgynous or masculine. What matters is that like at the end of the day, just, I don't know, stop demonizing women for literally anything. We are demonized for being too feminine. We're demonized for being too masculine.
Yeah.
We deal with misogynistic bullshit in male dominated fields. We get made fun of for doing traditionally feminine things or choosing a traditionally feminine field. And it's like we can't win.
Yeah.
So literally do what makes you happy and, you know, do what is the most fulfilling for you. And that is also subject to change. We had like a really nice discussion where we basically talked about our own pick me phases.
Yeah.
And like they looked different. Whereas you were more in the realm of like, I reject anything remotely feminine. I don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of that, but the things that I did openly like that were considered more feminine, like One Direction, for instance, I always felt a need to like justify me liking those things. So I would be like, I like One Direction, but look, like the music is actually good. It's not just because they're hot or whatever.
Right.
Like Liam and Louis like actually write songs, and Niall like plays an instrument. I always felt the need to like have a quote good reason for liking those things, you know?
Yeah, totally. Anytime that a woman does something or says something or whatever that gains any type of like people talking about her, like for whatever reason, any context, whatever it is, the fact that it is a woman is somehow always a part of the conversation, which is not the case with men.
Yeah.
It's like you, even when a dude like, oh, I mean, maybe a little bit more nowadays with like Gen Z making fun of white men a lot more than what has ever been a thing before. But generally, for the most part, you've never really heard somebody talk about a man and be like, no matter how much they hate what they did, it's always like, oh, I hate that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never about the fact that he's a man or whatever, you know? It's just like, oh, this guy did something, and it's always just about what the actual thing is, whether you're upset or you're happy or whatever. It's about the person individually and whatever situation happened. Versus with women, I think it always somehow managed to bring up the fact that it was a woman and how that somehow translates to like every other woman on the planet because of the choice of this one. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what's so beautiful about Legally Blonde and about the core of what bimboism is meant to be, where, you know, it's just challenging the way we think about just women in general. It kind of challenges the way we put women in boxes.
We're all just like people that were born and then like shaped by our experiences.
I think all throughout the history of like feminism, there's been this pressure to give up traditionally feminine things, where feminists are often stereotyped as breaking apart the nuclear family, and they're all lesbians and they're all hyper masculine and they all hate children and they hate men and they hate marriage. And when really that's just perpetuating more misogyny because you're demonizing femininity.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, so I think a lot of women are made to feel that if they like anything feminine, they're like betraying the feminist movement.
Right.
Or
and
they're
I
not,
think that's
or they're not,
how I felt.
yeah. And they're not being a good feminist.
Right.
And so I think to close it out, what Legally Blonde is trying to say and what the original message of bimboism is trying to say is femininity is actually powerful, and it actually is a feminist move to not reject it if that's what speaks to you. There's power in reclaiming things that are traditionally feminine because femininity has been so demonized. And it doesn't make you a bad feminist if you like pink or if you like cooking or if you like baking. It doesn't make you a bad feminist if you do want to get married to a man someday or have children. What would make you a bad feminist is if you were shaming other women for not making the same choices as you and giving up your own personhood for a man or for the patriarchy. I just love the idea of reclaiming and repurposing femininity to
Mm-hmm.
be an empowering thing that actually decenters
Yeah.
men. And especially like when we bring in intersectionality too,
Mm-hmm.
like there are there are women who have been denied the opportunity to explore their feminine sides because of the boxes they've been put in,
Right.
like black and brown women being hyper masculinized,
Totally.
uh and honestly like even lesbians being stereotyped as super masculine too. There's like a whole community of lesbians who embrace hyper femininity, you know, in part as
Femme
a
lesbians.
yeah, the femme lesbians, in part as a way to break those stereotypes
And also just self expression. Maybe they just like
and
it.
self-expression. Like there's so many different ways to explore femininity
Mm-hmm.
that's more than just like the traditional way,
Yeah.
and I think that's great. So that's pretty much it. I want to end each episode by asking my guest just this one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your most and least favorite part about theater?
That's a good question. Well, my favorite part kind of depends, but I would say I don't know. Like when I was in high school, I really liked doing the tech side of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously different than like most people's experience with theater because I know a lot of high schools don't necessarily expose you to the tech side of things as much. But my high school did a lot of that, and I really miss that. Like building sets and stuff like that was so fun. And I miss the costumes and just like I don't know. I think it's just I think my favorite thing's probably just the whole thing. That sounds dumb, but like being a part of the group and like everybody's putting an effort to like create this thing
Mm-hmm.
and then you do the thing and it's like temporary. So it's like extra special, you know what I mean? Because you only get
Yeah.
to do it so much.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know what my least favorite thing is. Drama? People?
Well, yeah.
Other people in theater is my least favorite part of theater. Can I
Yeah.
just clone myself for all the roles? I'm just kidding. That wouldn't be as fun.
Ah, that's funny. Well, thank you.
What's your favorite thing about theater?
My favorite thing? Oh, the community aspect for sure.
Oh yeah, well,
Like getting to meet other people.
it's so funny. Mine, my least favorite is I don't know other people. What's your favorite? Other people. That's funny. I know I like people too. I was just joking, but
Yeah.
like when the people clash is
When
when there's
yeah,
problems.
when there is drama and there will be drama, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Vivienne. It was
Thanks
so
for
nice to
having
have
me.
you. Can I leave your socials in the description box?
Yeah, you can tag my Instagram. I don't
Yeah.
really post on anything else, but
Yeah. You don't still post on TikTok?
not really.
All right. Well, that's it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that's showbiz. Once again, if you like this episode, be sure to check out the extended version on my Patreon, as well as other bonus content for just $3 a month. Got any burning questions or comments? DM me on Instagram or leave a comment on YouTube or TikTok, and who knows, I may mention you in an upcoming episode. My socials and my guest socials are in the description box down below, as well as any other upcoming projects and a social justice spotlight related to this week's musical. Thank you so much for watching and supporting, and please come again.